welcome back. As always, thanks for joining me. Honey wanted to say hey. Hi, honey. She's gonna hang out today, apparently. And today we are talking about the book called Cinder. This is book 1 of the Lunar Chronicles. I'm very excited about this book. So is Honey. Honey loves books. She loves to smell books. I'm sure there's all kinds of smells on this because it is a library book. I did take it out of the library just to do this video because I listened to this a while ago on audiobook. So I wanted to have the physical copy to show you. And to be honest, it's kind of fun to take the physical copies out after I've listened to an audiobook because yes, of course, you get to see the cover and all, but like it's not the same as actually having the book. And I really think this is such a beautiful book. It's pink and purple, and I'm gonna get up close so you can see it. And then it has this inside flap, which I thought was just so cool. I really love it. You can see Cinder running away and Prince Kai chasing her, and I just love that. And I totally did not get that experience with the audiobook. She's also got her cyborg leg, which is so cool, which also brings me to my book journal because I did not make a page for this book yet of its own, but I am tracking the series, and I actually have to check off this one because I read that, but I just wanted to show you in my book journal, if you have not already seen my other videos, I have a really cool fan art picture here of Cinder, which I thought was really, really cool. She looks pretty similar to this one. I think they didn't draw her as a girl from Japan though, which they kind of left that out, which I didn't really like because this whole book is based there pretty much. So of course she would kind of look Japanese and she would have dark hair, and they gave her brown hair. But anyway, they gave her a cyborg leg and like a Cinderella dress. So I thought that was a super cool picture for my book journal. And then I'm tracking the series down here. So I've got 6 books left to read on this, and I actually just took Fairest, the 3.5 book, out of the library, so I am about to read that one. So I'll be on to book 4 after that. There's a lot of 0.5 books in this series, which I normally would kind of just skip over, but because I've been tracking everything and because I've been making videos, I kind of want to be as accurate as possible for you and for me for my book journal. And so I have been going out of my way to keep up with the 0.5 books, and I've been trying to read them like in order of the whole series. So the 0.5 and 0.6 books, I actually read Cinder first because I didn't even know that it was a series at first, and then I went back and read those. But I would suggest reading those. They are pretty short books, and I actually was able to find them as free ebooks, and I will leave the link down below to those. You can just read them really quick online. I think they're like a total of 5 pages, but then on Goodreads it says it's like equal to like 35 pages. But I think it's like totally worth reading, and I really like them. One of them, I think it was the 0.5 one, was kind of like Cinder's like lead in to her story. So if I had read that before this book, it would have gone very, very nicely. So I would suggest that. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked, but like this book, there's so much to unpack because it is a really large series. And there's just a lot here with this book, which I absolutely love. I'm so glad the author gave us so much with this series because her name is Marissa Meyer, and she is a fantastic author. I really love her. She wrote Heartless, which I just read and absolutely adored that book. She's also written a handful of other books that I have yet to read, but I am looking forward to getting to those. And anyway, I just love her writing style. I think she writes really well, and she really just grabs your attention, and she's very good at creating like a totally different world than something you even have in your own mind. Like these books, a lot of them are based in outer space, which I thought was super cool, and like that's not somewhere any of us have really been. Like there's like worlds in outer space, and she describes them perfectly and just like makes you feel like you're really there. And I just love when an author does it. Like they just give you just the right amount of description to not bore you, but to just drag you into it and just make you really feel like you're there. So I absolutely love this series. Let me talk a bit about just this book instead of just the whole series as a whole. But Cinder is actually so far my favorite book that I have read in the whole series. And I think it's just because of that element of surprise and that going into it blind and not really knowing anything about it. I randomly just took this ebook out of the library. Audiobook out of the library because I saw that it was available, and there was like one day I was working and I really wanted to listen to an audiobook, and so I just grabbed this one just to listen to something, and I found myself really loving it and really getting engrossed with it and involved with it, and just it was such a good story. I mean, yes, it is a Cinderella story, like a different Cinderella story, which we have thousands of those, and I was kind of went into it like, oh goodness, I'm not gonna like this kind of thing. But it turns out I really loved it, and I would highly recommend it. It's a retelling of Cinderella in a totally different way that you would not expect. Like I said, it is kind of based in outer space. There is literally so much more to it. This girl Cinder is Cinderella, and she is also a cyborg. So she has cyborg eyes, a cyborg leg, a cyborg hand, and cyborg different parts of her body. As well as that, and it's just so cool, all the different things that are in this book that you wouldn't normally have thought of on your own, and it really is its own little world, and I absolutely just loved it. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Take a shot for every time I say that through this video. Go back and rewatch it. But yeah, just fabulous book with a fabulous author and a really great series, because the other books in this series tie in so well with this, and they just kind of go hand in hand, one right after the other, where the next book in the series picks up right where this one leaves off. So you are not left like wondering what happens, because she doesn't leave any gaps at all, which I love that when an author does that. Like sometimes they pick up in the second book and there's just like this big gap and you're like, oh dang, I wish I wouldn't have missed that. But you know, authors do that for certain reasons, so can't hate on that completely. But I absolutely love it when it's just like seamless together and you're just going on this really, really, really long story, and it almost feels like you're reading like one really long book. So that's kind of what this series feels like. So if you have not read this, pick up Cinder today and start reading Lunar Chronicles. I do not feel like you will regret it. If you like kind of like a sci-fi-ish Disney story retelling, I would say, kind of is like my best way to describe it, while also having a lot of things happen in outer space. So it's just like a completely new world to explore in your mind. I think that's my best description of this one. But that is all I have to say about that. So yeah, I post every day on my Instagram, and I would love to see you over there. Go ahead and give me a follow. I post a lot of book content over there that I do not post here. Pictures, short videos, things like that. I also post a new video here every single Friday, and I would like to see you back here for that. And a lot of the times I end up posting a midweek video too. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up, and a comment would be cool too, because I love interacting with you. Yeah, that's all I have to say today, and I'll see you on my next book review. Bye.